Hello everyone. Today we're going to learn about effective planning in dynamic environment. So what is a dynamic environment? So it is a environment which is referred to the uncertainty of the environment that limits the ability of managers to make decisions. So basically this means that this is a critical environment for the managers where they have to take decisions in tough time. Okay? So to plan effectively in dynamic environment, there are some steps to follow. Let's see what are they. First one is develop plans that are specific but flexible. Second one is understand that planning is an ongoing process. Third one is change plans when conditions warrant. Fourth one, persistence in planning eventually pay off. The last one is flatten the organizational hierarchy to foster the development of planning skills at all organizational levels. Okay, let's try to break them down and try to understand them elaborately. So let's start with suppose you're given an assignment. So let's start with the assignment. We try to solve the problem. We try to find out what are those steps along with a question. Like suppose you are manager of your organization XYZ. So your organization is name of your organization is XYZ. So you're the manager of your organization. So as a manager, how can you develop plan effectively in your dynamic environment? Suppose you're given this assignment. So let's try to find out how we can plan effectively in a dynamic environment, or how a manager should plan in such kind of environment. Let's start with develop plans that are specific but flexible. So you have to develop plans which are narrowed, precise, but not tough to implement. Okay, for instance, you can go for agile development, where you can select some bunch of customers, and before launching your final product you give them the sample of your product to use it and give feedback. Once they use your product, they give you feedback and you take it and consider their suggestions. So if needed, you should bring changes in your plan. So it should be that flexible, and your plan should not be very much difficult or critical to understand. It should be precise, specific, but it has to be flexible. Anytime you can change it. You can change it in your own way depending on the situation or demand of the critical environment. Okay, it has to be flexible. So this is a kind of example of that. Now second one is planning is an ongoing process. So as a manager, you have to understand, or you have to adopt that the planning is a continuous and dynamic process. So suppose as a manager of XYZ, you should obviously prepare plan for a particular period of time. Then there will be a new plan after the expiry of that period of the first plan. Okay, and it will continue ever after. So once you make a plan, it should have some time frame. After it is over, the time frame is over, you make another plan and it will continue like that. Okay, so as a manager you should know that, understand that planning is an ongoing process. Now change plan when conditions warrant. So you must have a roadmap, right? So to reach your destination. So the roadmap may fluctuate due to the change in dynamic market condition. Okay, so you have to be ready to bring any changes in policy or revise your plan if the critical environment demands. So anytime any new problem may arise. So anytime your condition can become critical, so you have to take decisions. Okay, and if the conditions warrant, if the conditions require change, then you should bring it. Let's move on to the next one. Planning eventually pays off. This means that persistence in planning eventually pays off. So as a manager of XYZ or any company, you should keep planning with persistence. Okay, that will ultimately contribute to your performance improvement. So if you keep planning and keep trying to improve it, so time to time your improvement will come while you're going to make any plan. So because in time you will learn to plan, and it will be beneficial for your company in the long run. The last one is flatten the organizational hierarchy to foster the development of planning at all organizational levels. So you'll allow lower organizational levels to set goals and develop plans, as there is little time for goals and plans to flow down from the top. So you'll teach your employees how to set goals and implement it. Based on this trust, a good bonding will be created. So these are all about planning effectively in dynamic environments. So this is how you will plan effectively in such kind of environment. So if you have any questions, so you can ask me in the comment section. So thank you very much for watching this video, and please hit the like button and subscribe my channel.